I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time from Frame by Frame. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, random, out of the blue, whatever, pretty much anything. Feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for the live action remake of Beauty and the Buttfuck. A triple X parody. I wish I get more enjoyment out of it. At least I did titties. I like Beauty and the Beast, the original Disney film. This film, okay, let me put this. Let's make a film that's longer, add in shit that I don't give a fuck about, add in new songs I don't give a fuck about. Granted, that makes it so it's not exactly a shot-for-shot remake, but the new stuff you added to me is not interesting, and then the other stuff is just the same movie again, only done worse. Way worse. Whether it be the beginning of the film, where in the original, you hear the backstory, you just hear it. And you get the idea that the prince was a little kid, so he didn't know any better. Here, you actually see it all. The prince is a grown-ass man. He's a fucking moron. Bunch of women dancing. A new song I don't give a shit about. Sorry, none of the new songs interested me. They just didn't. Then this old woman, he's like, fuck off, bitch. And so she's an enchantress. She shows herself. Oh, fuck it. I'm going to curse you. I'm going to curse everybody. They try to explain stuff that you maybe had questions in the original, like why would the person curse everybody, not just the prince? But the explanation here is, well, the prince, his father was an asshole, and we did nothing to help him, so he became an asshole. So thus she decided to curse us as well. Which I'm like, wow, this witch, this enchantress is a fucking capital bitch with a B of bitchitis. Which is funny because you also find out this enchantress, this old lady witch bitch, lives in the village with Belle and all these other people. They all treat her like shit, but she doesn't curse them. But people literally treat her like shit. She doesn't curse them. Bunch of these other helpers that did nothing wrong. Because, you know, when you're a fucking maid, there's a lot that you do to tell your fucking boss what to do. Back then, they probably fucking cut your head off if you talk back. Or at least close. But hey, whatever. So Emma Watson from the Harry Potter film, she plays Belle. If you didn't hear that, I would. If you did hear that, I apologize. That's my reaction to Emma Watson. At least in this movie, I just didn't care about her in this movie. Her singing, I'm not sure on. And like the original, she's going around the village. The fucking village is singing about her. In the original, though, I remember her always in a book. So she's lost in this world. So she's doing all this stuff and she's not realizing it. In this, they have her read a little bit from the book. But the thing is, like, most of the time, she's not doing it. And so when she's doing all this shit, like she walks on these people on a table where these people are working, she just comes off as an asshole. Or she's doing, it's like, what the, wow, she fucking thinks she's holier than thou, hot to trot. I didn't, well, what, you want him to do the same thing as the original? I want him to not make the fucking movie. That's what I want. Don't make the fucking movie anyway. But they did it because they made a shitload of money, because they knew they made a shitload of money, because, hey, live action, even though to me it didn't really merit anything positive making a live action. A lot of the film is still CGI backgrounds or a CGI looking beast or all the furniture CGI. So it's still a lot animated in this live action. Fuck. Back in the day you had Ron Perlman. Like, go, if you want to watch a live action Beauty and the Beast, go watch that with Ron Perlman and Linda Hamilton. Go watch that fucking show. I forget, yeah, it was a TV show. Or at least you had person with practical makeup, and Linda Hamilton's better than Emma Watson. Go watch that fucking show, Beauty and the Beast. Go watch that instead. It did its own thing. It's better than this. Even within the song literally goes, she's a bookworm and she stuck her head in a book. And when it says that line, her head's not stuck in a book. Blink and you'll miss her reading the book. But whatever. It's just that I'm watching this, I'm watching a similar scene, only it's done with singing that's not as good. And why the fuck don't I just watch the animated film? It goes by at a faster pace. Because it's animated, you see more emotion on people's faces, including the Beast. Like the Beast in the original, you can easily see the different emotions and range of emotions. This Beast, no. Almost the same fucking face throughout the entire film. So where is the uptake? What is the, oh, we don't do this because we'll make it better. How is that better? Luke Evans is Gaston. Josh Gad is his buddy. I guess in this movie, the character's gay. I don't give a fuck. Didn't bring anything to the story. Didn't bring anything to the table. What, for brownie points from the LGBT barbecue? I don't give a fuck. Belle is supposed to be an outsider. I don't know if she really seems as much of an outsider in this. The one positive I'll say is Kevin Kline as the dad. Because the dad, Belle's dad in the original is whatever. He's alright. But Kevin Kline, I like Kevin Kline. He brings a bit more, I don't want to say humanity. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. But he brings a bit more to the table. And a lot of the film, it follows the original. Belle's dad goes off, looks around the place that he's not supposed to, gets caught by the Beast. Right in the original, you saw more of that capture. To be like, oh shit, what happened? Here, it's a cutaway. So then Belle goes off to find her dad. And in the original Disney film, they showcase a lot more of the Beast having humanity. You really get an inkling as to why he slowly falls for this Belle character. You don't in this, other than the script told me to. Because when Belle goes, hey, I will take his place. Okay, you have my dad locked up, take me instead. In the original, you have the Beast angry, and he softens and goes, you really take his place? So right there, you have a Beast, and then his face softens, you're seeing the emotion, him like being dumbfounded, like how unselfish this person is, his voice is softer. That's not even in this fucking movie. He's like, fine. Fuck you, bitch. That's really what it is. Like, fine, fuck you, bitch. Later you're gonna suck my dick. It might as well be. With this intention. Okay, Kevin Kline, fuck off. Go find Will Smith. You, bitch, sit down. Or come back and put my fucking wolf dick in your mouth. Or whatever the fuck. It's not a wolf, but whatever the fuck beast he is. And I think the Beast looks like shit. I know it was played by Dan Stevens. I'm not a big fan of the movie The Guest, but Dan Stevens is really good in it. I'd rather see Dan Stevens do that. Please. I mean, it was a waste of him, and I thought the Beast looked like shit. I thought the CGI looked like shit. The design looked boring and bland. I didn't look at the design of Ron Perlman in the old Beauty and the Beast show, and the way it looks, and the practical effects. It's just so much more mesmerizing than this. It made me go, then why the fuck didn't they just do practical makeup effects? If you want to do live action, you can do a practical makeup effect to make a person like a Beast. We have the technology. There is no reason to make this CGI. None. Don't give me this, well, you can't get emotions. Yes, you can. If you know what the fuck you're doing. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, then that's your fault. There's no reason to make this scene. Just make them wrong. Fucking 1980s had you did it on a fucking TV show. You tell me you can't do it in 2017 with a big budget movie. You have these things called makeup effects, guys. Makeup effects artists. I think they're able to do it. I guarantee you. I could bet on it. And see, it just looks like shit, and there's barely see much of emotion on there. There's a part where they ask him to give us your smile. He's like, eh. Which barely fucking registers. Unlike the original, where the Beast does a big smile, like, ugh. A case in point where animation did this type of story much better than this live action, even though there's a lot of CGI in it. And the landscape looks murky like fucking ink blot. Now, the furniture, there's some recognizable faces. The candle, the candlestick, that's voiced by Ewan McGregor. Wait, I know that sounds familiar. Oh, okay, cool. I like Ewan McGregor. Singing Be Our Guest. The clock is voiced by Ian McKellen. And there's a few others. They add in where the candlestick, Ewan McGregor's character, and you have this feather duster, but it's a peacock. So you have this bit where it looks like a bronze man, candlestick, and a peacock are ready to fuck each other. That was a bit weird, but okay. The Be Our Guest scene, there's energy to it with the way it's done on a visual note. I really don't have much bad to say about that scene. As in the way it's directed, the way the visuals pop up, and Ewan McGregor, maybe because I'm a fan of him, he's doing his best to sing the song. And, you know, again, I like Ewan. So, like that scene, the Be Our Guest, yeah, I don't really have much issues with that scene. One of the few. But they've done such a piss poor job establishing that the Beast has any inkling of liking to this Belle character. Like in the original, the Beast is like, oh, you know what, she won't like me because of how I look. You don't get really any of that in this. So then when Belle's like, fuck it, I'm gone, and the Beast saves her from the wolf, I'm like, why did he even save her from the wolves? It never made it any inkling before, and he gave an iota of shits. So the Beast and the Beauty, to me, have no fucking chemistry with each other. They did a piss poor job, which they did fairly well in the original Disney film. They don't do it here. Because they take shit out, but do you want a shot-for-shot remake? But my point is, the stuff you're taking out is essential to your fucking story. But then you add in all this other shit that I don't give a fuck about, like, oh, Gaston, Kevin Kline's trying to show him where in the woods he went, and he can't remember, and Gaston's like, maybe I'll fucking tie you up, and fuck it, I will tie you up and leave you to the wolves. And then Kevin Kline gets out of it, and he fucking walks home, and you tried to kill me. I don't give a shit about any of this new added feature. To me, it doesn't really do much for the story. In Gaston, Luke Evans at times looks fucking bored. Like when Josh Gad is singing the song of how great Gaston is. The original Gaston, he's like, yes, I'm the best, and he's very into it, and he loves the attention. He desires the attention. Here, Luke Evans looks bored. He's like, okay, I better get a little bit lively, a little bit of dancing, but for the most part, it looks fucking bored. Maybe he's waiting for a Fast and Furious check. I don't know. Maybe he's like, man, I wish I could work with Jason Statham. Because didn't he play the villain in Fast 6? Was that someone else I'm thinking of? Am I thinking of someone else? I don't fucking know, man. This movie's making my brain shut down. And then one weird thing they put into this that wasn't in the original, which creates a whole wealth of problems. There's a book, and the Beast shows Belle the book. The book can literally teleport you to anywhere in the fucking world. It's not just through the mind, because they go to Belle's old home in Europe, and you get a backstory where her mom died in the plague, and she takes something from her old home, so she's able to physically take it and has it later. So no, it's not like they went there in their mind. They literally teleported to there. You would think a book that you could teleport anywhere to the world, you would think would come to play later on. It doesn't. Oh my god, my father's in trouble. Okay. Yeah, your father's in trouble. Like in the original. But you know what? The reason Belle took a horse in the original is because you didn't have a book that you could fucking teleport. Why don't you teleport? Here's the book. Teleport to there. No, it doesn't. And don't give me, well, it can do this, but it can't do that. Because it does not showcase any rules in the movie. It doesn't tell you any rules in the movie. And again, she went with the Beast to her old home, her childhood home, and took something from it. She was physically fucking there. That means she could physically get to her dad. And also, with the Beast, with all the ways, wait a minute, you could go anywhere in the world and you still couldn't find someone to love your sorry ass? Nowadays, there'd be a lot of people like, yeah, hey, whether they're furries or whatever, they'd be a done deal in like 15 minutes. Teleport to a fucking furry convention. You're finding a love before the last petal falls, while you stay as a beast, but your fucking help literally die. They become inanimate objects. You are just stuck with a bad pedicure and manicure. Your staff are dead. But, I mean... So, it seems like your staff got the worst fucking deal. But, again, this seems like a serious job. We need to find love. We need to find someone to love you. Believe me, with the way the world is, you'd find it if you could teleport to any fucking where you want to in the world. But whatever. I mean, you would think a teleporting book would help a lot. Why did he even put this in there, man? Why? Oh, we have a reason to go to her childhood home. No, we don't. Doesn't add much. Her mom died in the plague. I guess that's supposed to be their common, where the beast dad was an asshole and her mom died in the plague. Now we're gonna bond over that? It really didn't add much, I'm sorry. And these two still had no chemistry. And then the stuff that just makes you think of the original, like the ballroom dance scene, I'm like, no. The singer during that is not as good as Angela Lansbury in the original film. When Belle leaves, they add a new song where the beast, instead of, I don't know, going after her, instead of being sad, instead of being pissed, he just sings a fucking song. And then it plays off, you know, the village gets there, Gaston trying to get the bell, the beast saves Belle, the beast and Gaston fight, the beast gets stabbed, Gaston falls to his death, the beast is dying. Now, I remember in the original, she's able to kiss him before the petal falls. Here, the petal falls, then wait a beat or two or three, and then she kisses him. I'm like, well, technically you lost. Technically you failed. But I guess the Enchantress is like, nah, fuck it, close enough. So the whole timetable seemed kind of lax. Don't you fucking bitch? And then people start turning back to normal, including this dog who is a footstool. But, hey, we need a dog pee joke. Because that's what we need. I'm glad we got a live-action film where now, instead of the shorter, quicker movie that got all you wanted, now it's over 2 fucking hours, and part of that timeline, part of that running time, is a dog pissing. Thank fucking God for that. Okay, is there any positives? Kevin Kline. The Be My Guest scene is fine on a visual level. And there's a trailer version of the Beauty and the Beast song. I think it's bought by Hit House? Or I forget there might be someone else. But what I say that because on YouTube, if you type in Beauty and the Beast, Hit House, I believe, then it shows like the actual singers' names. I forget who it is. But their version of Beauty and the Beast, it's short. It's only like 2 minutes or so. I like that. I think it's a fairly good rendition. I wish that was used more in the actual movie. But it's used mainly in the marketing. I forget if it's the first trailer or the second trailer. It's the first or second trailer. I like that piece of music, that rendition of Beauty and the Beast. Kevin Kline. I like Kevin Kline. Whether it be, yes, even In and Out, A Fish Called Wanda. What was the movie I'm thinking of? Even like Fierce Creatures he was fine in. And like I said, the BRDS scene is fine for what it is. But it's overlong. It adds in stuff that's just useless or pointless. And like they're trying to fix problems. Like, how come no one remembers this prince and the beast? And okay, I can understand your issue with that in the first movie, but then you add in new shit like a teleporting book, among other crap. One of the reasons the original works is they specifically went for people who could really work well singing wise for what is supposed to be entailed within the movie. Here, we cast these because of the actors, not because they know how to sing. And what a lot of it is a musical, that's kind of a downgrade. And it's like I'm seeing the same story, only less interesting, longer, so it's bogged down more boring. The songs are not as good. And even the visual aspect isn't as good. Because again, animation, Disney, looks beautiful, consistent, because it's all anime. Here's live action, then here's CG, live action, CG, live action, CG. And then the CG on the Beast looks like shit. His design looks like shit. His face doesn't have nearly amount of animation or emotion, I meant to say, where we really feel and see how he's feeling. And again, you never get a sense as why the fuck does the Beast really fall in love with her? Oh, now he does. There's a point where he throws a snowball, knocks her the fuck out, and he laughs. Like a psychopath. Knocked her the fuck out. They try to add backstory to the Beast and Belle, but did it really add anything to the actual story you're telling? No. I guess they're trying to, well, the Beast was this way at the beginning because of his father. I'm like, okay, because of one dream scene. I still don't give a fuck. Because I don't give a fuck about this Beast character. You've not made me give a shit about this Beast character. I'm sorry you haven't. That's the way I look at it. So, with this and Aladdin, I'm not a fan of these Disney live action remakes. I'm not. To me, they're useless, they're pointless. This is probably worse than Aladdin, because Aladdin, Will Smith, when he's being Will Smith, and he looks normal, not the shitty blue genie CG, but just looks normal. Someone put it best. When Will Smith is trying to be Robin Williams, he fails. But if it's just Will Smith being Will Smith, he works better on that aspect. Yeah, so I think that alone, I would put that above this. But they're still both films I fucking did not like. And again, the whole time you're just going, why don't I just watch the original? Why don't I just watch the original? There is no reason to choose this over the original. It's not completely wildly different. And then the stuff that changes, I think for the most part, is still even a disservice to the original. Because it takes out important aspects and then add shit that I don't give a fuck about. And the new songs I don't give a shit about. And other than Kevin Kline, I guess I could say Josh Gad did fine for what he's supposed to do. But Luke Evans didn't nearly have the bravado and charm. Not charm's the wrong word, but the full of himself, gallant attitude of Gaston. Emma Watson, she didn't impress me in this at all. Dan Stevens was wasted. What they manipulate his voice and shitty look on the design as well as the CGI both suck. So yeah, this movie's, I just say fucking sucks. Ewan McGregor as Lumiere, the Candlestick. Nice to hear him. So I guess that's maybe another positive. So I don't know. Is this better than Aladdin? I don't. The more I think about, I don't. They both suck. Fuck both. Fuck both. So see you guys later. Fuck this movie.